today, well, one person who describes himself as the leader of the former MMDCs who met Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia today addressed the press, indicating that they have officially declared their support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. 220 of them. Take a look.
Dr. invited all MMDCs. I was there myself.
Did you throw your support behind him?
We did not throw support.
Nobody.
No. His assertion that over 250 came to endorse him is false.
Body.
Today, listen, Chief, you have asked a question. Today, we are reading a statement on behalf of all of us. There was no statement read at Kennedy Japan's
body declared in support.
We spoke, we wined, we dined, and we left. Today, we are showing our support with a statement. Thank you.
Well, the video you just saw there was when these former MMDCs met Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia earlier today. Now, I'm going to show you another video. That video last week of that meeting between this same group of former MMDCs, a number of them, that number last week was put to 268, who met Kennedy Japan, a flag bearer hopeful of the MPP as well. Now, take a look at this. He fed them, and they confessed to it, that they ate sumptuous meals and, you know, and they had a conversation. This is it. You see some of them exchanging pleasantries with him. There was a sitting member of parliament, at least, we saw. That's Dr. Stephen Amwa, the Shiaso member of parliament, and then also a former deputy finance minister. And then there's Kweku Kwati as well. You see, former deputy finance minister Kweku Kwati was a former chair of the finance committee of parliament. And a number of these former MMDCs, you see Kennedy Japan addressing them in this video last week. They had good food to eat. You saw it in the video. They've been, I mean, and rightly so. They know they have the numbers. They have the voting right. And if you're talking about 268 former MMDCs who, per the party's constitution, Article 13, Clause 11, they are part of the group who would vote to elect the flag bearer. That's why they are leveraging their influence and visiting all these people and, you know, having a good time, as we're seeing in the video. And then we also showed you just a few minutes ago what happened today when they met Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This is the man who spoke to the media, the one we just played to you, clarifying that, well, when they met Kennedy Japan, they did not declare support for him. They did not address any press conference as we saw today. This is the man, Ebenezer Doku. He's a former Adenta MCE. This is exactly what he said in the video, that Kennedy Japan invited them. He was there, but, quote, we did not throw our support behind him. His assertion that over 250 MMDCs came to endorse him is false. Let's put that on the screen right now. He continues to say that we are reading a statement today on behalf of all of us. No statement was read during the said meeting with Kennedy Japan. We spoke. We wined and we dined. Essentially, they ate and they drank. And then they left. Today, we are making it clear with an official statement, unquote. That's Ebenezer Doku, former Adenta MCE, explaining why, after meeting Kennedy Japan, they met Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia today, and they have made this official statement, as was being captured, that they have declared their support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But what does all of this really look like from the political lenses? And this is where we're bringing Dr. Jonathan Asante Otchere. He is the Senior Lecturer, Political Science Department. It's a political analyst at the University of Cape Coast. Thank you for joining us. I mean, it's a very interesting period to be a former DC, is it not, or MC. I mean, with what we just showed you, the meeting with Kennedy Japan, and what we've seen today with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. From your lenses and where you sit, how do you see them playing this, political game of leveraging their influence and their numbers as former MCs at the moment?
Well, I would say that these are a bunch of political prostitutes out there who do not really have principle, or they are not guided by any kind of principle. Because if the principle that they have put out there is anything to go by, you went to Dr. Brian Champon, you've gone to Mr. Kennedy Japan. In all of this, you did not declare. So, from the benefit of hindsight, having listened to the views of others from the same rank, I got the impression that some element within their fold might have stampeded the process, go ahead of themselves to do a kind of declaration. And having listened to both sides, and especially the side of Mr. Kennedy Japan, it appears to me that that declaration might have been a forced one. Or maybe they were influenced one way or the other. I don't know, but if you tell me that you went to Kennedy Japan's place, you drank, you ate, you wined, and whatnot, but I did not declare, it surprises me that suddenly you want to declare, at Dr. Bawumia's place. And so if they are real principled, then they will have kept mute over this, keep their cards to their chest, and then probably wait a little longer for either a declaration or the period to go and cast their ballot. I don't want to think that the highest bidder is the one controlling affairs, because obviously, having visited Mr. Kennedy Japan and Dr. Brian Champon for that matter, they would definitely be giving some kind of honorarium as a kind gesture. So when it comes to internal politics, you have to understand that a lot of resources go into it, because these are virtually the kingmakers. And so you may want to do right by them. But it surprises me that they took that particular decision, because I think that it was an unprincipled decision, and it was just born out of political prostitution.
Well, but why do you describe their decision to declare support today after meeting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? I mean, that public support for him as political prostitution and one lacking principle. I mean, they are former MCs. They have their individual rights, their conviction, and obviously they are politically experienced enough to know who they want to support, is it not?
Well, if that particular disposition is anything to go by, then it means that I've also heard of a certain group rebutting that particular decision to declare, and that declaration for any of the candidates was not on the table. So it means that element from their 220-fold decided to do that which the entirety of the group had not decided to. And so if that neutralizes it, fine. Rather than that, you see, you may have a right of a sort, but its appropriateness is equally important. You are dealing with an African, democracy in which leaders are quite vindictive. And if it happens that the other side should win the presidential candidature of the party, it is not that simple and easy to go back, to suggest that, it was internal politics and other things. Sometimes I think that politicians must be shrewd a little. This opportunism that usually follows some of these decisions, I think it makes them look cheap. To be frank with you, it makes them look cheap. I wouldn't let anybody know who I'm going to cast my ballot for. That one, I wouldn't do it. You can decide to listen to the views I would have put out there, make your own judgment or conclusion. But for me to tip off my hand and let you know that this is the person I'm going to vote for, I wouldn't do that. It is still within my right to say ABC and it, but I wouldn't put out there that kind of open, declaration. I think that it makes them look cheap. It makes them look opportunistic, as it were. And it amounts to, for me, some kind of political prostitution, an unprincipled position for that matter. So here is the case. We have the other side of the same MMDC suggesting to us that the idea of declaration was not on the table. So who prompted who influenced who, or who influenced the other element, to go out there and put that declaration out there? So maybe in the fullest of time will tell. For now, I think that it's a little too early. It's a little too early for anybody to suggest that, well, for the optics, this person is doing A, B, C, and D, and everything is inherent to the benefit of that person. It's a little too early. I have been citing the late Sir John, that fear delegate is equally important. Dr. Bawumia himself should be more worried because when he was going around for the 2024 elections, you had chiefs, right? You had opinion leaders vouching their support and unflinching support. What happened? So you just have to be a bit careful when it comes to some of these things, because within their fold, some will vote for him, others will vote for Ken. Probably others will also vote for Dr. Bwana Champon, including Dr. Educhum as well. So you just have to be very careful. Delegate will want to explore all the advantages that they have. Now, especially where the party is intending to conduct the elections from the top to the bottom, then it means that they may want to cash in. Because at the end of the day, the lower level elections would just be white elephant. Because if you do the bottom-up approach, presidential hopefuls will want to be interested in the process. So they'll be investing in some of these candidates. So at the branch level, they will have some number of people that they would have invested. At the constituency, they will do same. At the regional, they will do same. And at the national, they will do same, till they get to the final slot, which is the presidential candidature. So with that, they will be able to hedge and count the number of people that they might have influenced along the line and know very well that these people are likely to cast their ballot in their favor. But now, when you have done the top-bottom approach, the lower-level elections will no longer be competitive, will no longer be attractive, because whoever wins the presidential slot will be interested in ensuring that those who oppose them or those who oppose their views do not get elected along the line. And that is what I'm suggesting, that this top-bottom approach is going to create some kind of democratic tyranny. You are either with the leader or you are against the leader. And the leader and whoever emerges will ensure that they have their faithfuls along the line, from the lower level to the upper level.
But there are those also who hold a different view and favor this particular decision, that for as long as the flag bearer has not been elected, that's in the words of the likes of Nana Komia, any effort to unite the party will be an exercise in futility, because that contest of the flag bearership is a dividing exercise in itself. So get that out of the way, and then you have enough time to close your ranks before election 2028. But there's good reason why these MMDCs are being pursued, literally, by all of these persons who want to lead the party as flag bearer, because their numbers, they're key, their voting rights, and it's all about the numbers going into any election for that matter. And these former MMDCs, they know this. And so they're leveraging their influence. But you say it's political prostitution, but this is their time as well. They see it and they know it. And so they would want to leverage that influence. What exactly is wrong with that?
Well, certainly. But it would have been better to hedge the 3 main contenders or the 4 main contenders, so that if it is a matter of making some kind of money, you would have gotten the money from all the candidates anyway. But you take that decision to go and vote whoever you want to vote for. But as it stands now, if it is resources, then you are likely to get from only one individual. So the other candidate will also be looking elsewhere to hedge or leverage, as it were.
And I do appreciate your time on this. Thank you. Thank you so much.